Boom.
Biddly, 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 bo. Yes, yeah. Here we go. The lighting's got me looking like my lips white and shiny. Probably makes the teeth glare, but you know what time it is. Get that badger in and on and over here. He's in, he's on, he's over, he's here. Please keep liking, subscribing. We're getting tantalizingly close to the 5,000 mark that I want to achieve before the start of the new season. Be much appreciated if you can carry on subscribing. Honestly, it helps the channel out significantly, even though some people tell me it's not about subscribers, it's about views. But in my opinion, I need some fucking subscribers to get the views. So the views bring the subscribers, the subscribers bring the views. The videos do better when people subscribe to them. That's just a fact, because I'm watching it happen in real time. Because YouTube obviously thinks, oh, not only does this person like the video and watch it, he also subscribed to the channel. He would like to see more of the channel. So cozy on up to that notification bell as well. So I know some people have been getting banned from it and they can't always see the videos when they are uploaded. But I just want to do a quick shit vid. I've not been dropping in for a few days. I've been out of action. I've been absolutely knackered with work and stuff, to be honest. It just wipes me out sometimes. And then the last thing I want to do is come on here and try to be positive, a positive person. Sometimes I'm like that, just with my cats. Just like on my chest, just staring at the roof and then thinking, I really need to do a video. I really need to make some music. I really need to do something in my life. But you can't always be 100%. I need to try to be kind to my mind, because if you're kind to your mind, good things happen. I truly do believe that. Wilder, however, his mind, I will not be kind to his mind. He will be weeping for the next few months. I'd love to see his face in the changing room afterwards. Hamface will be alive and well. I'm right happy for Sunderland, to be fair. The only thing I'll say about Sheffield, because obviously I wanted Sunderland to win, if I'm honest. I don't like Chrissy Wilder, do I? I know Joe does, but I don't. I wanted Sunderland to win. I think they've got a mint fan base. I think it'd be tons of fun having a mint prem, and, hopefully it's 6 points for us and they're guaranteed to be 20th in league. Burnley guaranteed to be 19th in league, so that at least puts us in 18th, and then, we hopefully move on to 10th from there. There's only 8 places we need to move up from there. I can also now look forward to Trafford being shit next year, and I can finally tell Joe that he's not the best player in the world. And I can look forward to Bellingham being shit next year in the Premier League, and then we can tell the whole world that Bellingham is not as good as his brother, and we can stop with this crazy comparison just because he's been promoted. But Wilder will be going into next season. It's awful. One thing I would say, though, about the final is it's a shame, really, because even though I wanted Sunderland to win, it'd have been nice for, Sheffield to be, 1-0 up for a huge, large portionate game, massive portionate game, and then maybe, concede an equaliser sort of 10, 15 minutes before end of game, and then all the way, literally think it's going to go to extra time, and then right in the last seconds, some young kid that's moving on to a bigger club just pops up and puts one in bottom corner. It'd have been nice, wouldn't it? But you can't have everything in this life, so it'd have been better for him to be. Wait a minute, maybe that is what happened. Mint finish from that young kid. I was buzzing for him as well, but that was a mint finish. That was I'm off to Brighton, just sort of scooped it in. It was slick as a Sunday morning hangover poo. Harrison, I've just been on Just Joe's show. Because obviously the news is out. It's been rumbling about now for ages about Harrison, whether or not he will be sent back to Leeds. Well, it is confirmed now he will be leaving Everton at the end of the season, because obviously he was just on loan, so he will be going back to his parent club, which is Leeds United. I personally don't think Harrison will want to be at the club either. Joe did a poll and it was unanimously no, I think it was 89% out, and obviously 11% keep him, or yes, he can stay at the club. For me, I voted no for what it's worth on that poll, but I know it pisses everybody off this, but ultimately he's a Premier League footballer. He's played the most amount of Premier League minutes out of anybody that's been at the club since we went down, and then there's Somerville, who's, I think I'd rather have Somerville back than Harrison, for instance, but Somerville has not played anywhere near as much for West Ham as Harrison has. Harrison put some decent numbers up for us even when we were terrible. I don't think he'll kick a stink out if he comes back. I personally think he will get moved on. I think he'll want to move on. I think the club will want to move him on. But on the off chance that my man Faki Fucker can take him back in, I'm happy to bring him back in. We've got Dan James, not Sinisteris, fucking hell, Ramazani and Willie Nonto. if it was to boycott and not bring Solomon back, I wouldn't want that either. I'd rather Solomon than Harrison. But if we don't get Solomon back and Harrison comes in as like the fourth winger, we've got Ramazani, Nonto, Dan James, and Harrison's in there, I just don't think he's going to let the side down. I don't think he's going to kick a stink out. He does have a decent left foot. He's got a brilliant engine. He's always available. He'll get backwards and forwards. He'll put 100% in. If he's coming off at bench with 30 minutes to go, I just, and we need to remember as well, the club tried to get rid of Harrison at one point. He didn't really owe us anything. He was one of the only players that left on loan. He got loads of shit. I know his mum came out and said some wild shit, but who cares about that really? But, he actually did something for the club. I've been saying this ever since God were a lad, but at least he got us up. He did well in the Premier League. He put some decent numbers together. I think Joe was saying he got 16 goal and assist G&A in his first season, somewhat similar season after. We went down and he scored the goal that kept us up. He'd still put decent numbers together. He can whip a decent ball in. It just is what it is. I'll take it. I want to discuss team formation slightly. And do you think Farke will switch the team formation up? The reason why I'm asking this is because there's been a dream lineup with everybody that's been sort of linked at the club. Just come out as a bullshit news article, but I don't personally think we will change the way we play, the style of play that we have. I know everybody's sort of calling for this and we need to sit back and defend and that, but I don't think Farke's like, we're sort of going on as though it's like this gung-ho. Do you not remember the start of the season when everybody was saying like he needs to release the shackles on these players and let them get forward? He did start to do that towards the end of the season, when we were getting 7-0 and stuff, but I still think you can win 3 or 4-0 with the way that Farke plays, with like the possession-based football. I've told you before on my videos, even at Norwich, he was averaging like 45% possession. So the idea that we're just going to go up and get absolutely zero the ball with a decent side is just bollocks. We will get plenty of the ball. We'll have 50% possession. We will be in every single game in terms of possession. So, we need to be useful with it. But I really think, I know Firpo's looking more and more likely like he's not going to sign, but Firpo and Bogle's strengths are getting forward. Everybody tells me they can't defend. So why do we want to have them fullbacks in defending? Let them get forward and work the formation around it. Let Tanaka and Ampadu sit a little bit deeper and let them two go forward, only one at a time, much like they were last season. I don't think we'll be bombing forward where Bogle's at back post and Firpo's whipping it in as often as it was, and vice versa. I don't think it'll be both of them going. But I certainly think, let's play to our strengths. Let's get forward. Let's not worry about, let's not have this inferiority complex where we just have to go up and defend. Burnley will go down next year, regardless of how good their defense was. Why is it that if we excelled in attack and actually was very solid defensively, truth be told, if Mez hadn't thrown a few in his own net, we'd have been right up there with goals against it. Even with Burnley, we were exceptional defensively. So why is it that that version of defense doesn't work? You can get forward while defending. You don't have to just be like Burnley. Burnley will concede a shitload of goals next year. But it's basically been a dream lineup been released, and it's a load of bollocks. But it's Kelleher, long behold, the second best goalkeeper just behind Trafford in. The second best goalkeeper that can't get in the Liverpool side. Granted, because everybody says that Alisson's the best keeper in the world, but that's Donnarumma, Alisson, Kelleher, Trafford seems to be the the formation that everybody goes through when they're talking about best keepers in the world. But Trafford, you have to remember, is not only the best keeper in the world, he's the best player in the world as well. He deserves the Ballon d'Or. So we've got Kelleher in net, Bogle, Rodon, Struijk, which worries me ever so slightly when you say it like that, because that is basically, barring Meslier, Silent S, the same lineup that we had completely, even with players linked. And then that Tsimikas, who I don't think we'll achieve. I just don't for some reason. Well, I just don't, because I think he'll have plenty of offers. Ampadu, Tanaka, and Souček. So this is kind of like a formation change here, isn't it? Because we're going 3 across the middle there, which I'm not ruling out, but I would just swap Souček for my man Longstaff, and then we're still on the linked. But they said Souček, so Ampadu, Tanaka, Souček, which would be a midfield. I think we can all agree. I would insert Longstaff in there instead. But yes, then Dan James on right wing, Solomon on left wing. And then this promised David, who we obviously got linked with about a week ago, plays in Belgian League, 38 appearances this season, 21 goals, 5 assists, 9 yellow cards, 2,313 minutes played, centre forward. He's 6'5", an absolute beast of a man. Canadian, so he is. He might be the type of little sprinkling over the top of the meaty meatloaf cake or whatever the fuck it'd be, big chocolate, big Christmas pudding cake, and then the bit of sprinkling over the top. Because I really want, you know, your sous chefs, your Longstaffs, your sous fals to come in and be like the cement or the mortar in the whatever the building works would be, whatever Bob the Builder comes up with. And then, you know, you go for like people like Promise David, who really in Belgian league getting plenty of goals and stuff, but, you know, bit of a risk ultimately. But then you've got Parisley in there. I'd keep hold of Bamford. You've got Bamford in there. I think Joseph probably goes out. It's going to get interesting. Window will be open soon, so we will really start to learn pretty quick what we're saying. Shout out to everybody that stuck with me. Like, subscribe, comment. Take it easy, everybody. In a bizzle.
Boom.